everybody. Welcome into the Flippin Hippo's YouTube channel. I'm Star, the Flippin Hippo, and today is March 3rd, and it is a Tuesday evening. Let me see who's here. Hi from Darwin, Australia. Welcome in, Yvonne. Welcome in. We're going to give it a couple minutes just to let people kind of filter in before I get to the actual topic. So I'll just hang out and chat for a couple minutes and say hi to people as they come in. Rags is here. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm going to make sure that my mods know I'm live, just in case they want to come in. So today is the 3rd day of March, which means we've got about a month. I was going to say a couple weeks, but we got like a month left in Q1, first quarter of the year. So we're just going to talk about, wrapping it up and getting ready for Q2, and then things that you guys can do to get yourselves, your store, your businesses ready for spring. Susie's here. Yeah, Christian, that's funny. Usually Christian says hi, and I say, hi, Christian, welcome in. And you're probably driving. And now he just says, hi, I'm driving. So we all know he's driving. Before anyone chastises him, he just listens while he drives. So he treats this like a podcast, which is perfectly safe. Hey, Amy, welcome in. Lindsay is also listening while driving home from the north of Wholesale Bend. I did not realize you were that close. I mean, that's not close. That's a pretty good distance from me, but it's close. I haven't been to the Bends. Jesus. Long time. But I know where they are, so welcome in, Lindsay. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Richard. Figgy Flips. Boy, is that fun to say. Figgy Flips. Welcome in. Whitney's Wares. I don't know maybe for you personally, Whitley's Wares, but our Q1 was pretty darn good, especially considering how bad Q4 was. Trina's not driving. She's also one of those who's usually driving when she listens, and today she's not. They brought out 4.5 full bins of Plush. Oh Lord, that is exciting. Yeah, I haven't been there in so long. I don't think I'm going to. Unless it's like, I don't know. Hi, Virginia. Welcome in. Figgy, sorry about wishing you a happy birthday. Yeah, last week I got a happy birthday wish. I'll take any kind of happy wishes y'all want to send me. It's fine. Kim, Delilah's Village. Lindsay's 5 minutes from Kennywood. That's a pretty good distance, but it's still closer than most of the viewers, right? Pete's watching and listing. Uncle B's Old School Flips. Welcome in. And Mandy from Florida. Let me see. I had some stuff pulled up on here, but I'm just going to go by my notes over here. Yes, if I can remember it, Jenny. I'm going to write it down and hopefully my brain doesn't eat it. Y'all ever feel like your brain eats information and just... Hey, Holly's here, you guys. Holly's the one with the wrench there. I run amok. That's one of my good friends and my work wife. She's pretty cool. Say hi to her. All right, so as I said, or kind of alluded to a little bit ago, we are in the very last month of the first quarter. We're in the 3rd month of the year. And so I want to talk about some things with you guys moving forward. So we have 2 weeks from Thursday. So 2 weeks and 2 days until it is officially the first day of spring. And usually when spring comes, it brings with it thoughts of a remote. In case anyone's wondering, it was a remote. Thoughts of spring cleaning and organizing and getting everything wonderful for the spring. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be into Q2, the second quarter. So 2 weeks from today, I'm going to have, I have a live show every Tuesday. So I shouldn't say 2 weeks from today, I'm going to have a special live show because, I have one every Tuesday. I don't have anyone scheduled for Hanging with the Hippos for March. We've got a lot going on here. I may still try to find someone before the month of March is out. I'm trying to get a guest on next week. And I'm pretty sure he's going to come. Casey. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a special spring show because we're going to be 2 days from the spring. So 2 weeks from today, I'm going to have ready and drop for you guys a free guide for a bolo, just like a mini bolo. It'll have like 10 or 15 brands on it, but it'll be free. Mini bolo guide for brands to look for booty shorts, because that's what everybody should be sourcing for summer. And I'm also going to hopefully, like, because I want to say for sure, but I'm going to get my jeans guide done and be able to drop it that night. And so when spring starts, you guys will get a free guide for shorts to look out for, to source, to sell for the summer. And then my jeans guide should be done that night, which I'll be able to drop. And as always, I'll give away a couple for free on Instagram and in the group. Everybody will have a chance to get it for free. And I will probably run it 50% off for the last couple weeks of March, just to give everybody a chance to get it at a good discount before it goes back up to full price. So before we hit spring, you guys, here comes the train. Are you guys doing 2020 right? I mean, you've had 2 months into the new year to do things better than you did in 2019. Even if you did everything right in 2019 and you were pleased with yourself and you hit your goals and you were happy with where you were at in 2019, you still should have been aiming to be better and to do more in 2020. Especially in business, it's never a good idea to become complacent, but I think that's a good saying for life in general, for, eating healthy, weight loss, goals with your family, goals with your friends, just in business. It's never good to become complacent. If you set goals and you reach them and you're happy with them, set new ones to do better, bigger, and more next time. So I kind of wanted to check in with you guys and make sure and ask you guys, be honest with yourselves. You don't have to say it in the chat for the whole world to see, but be honest with yourselves. Have you done better in 2020 than you did in 2019, or have you become complacent? Or God forbid you've done worse. I hope no one has backslid, but if you did, that's okay. But you should be trying to beat your own personal goals, your own records that you've set every single day. Every single week should be new goals. Every single month, every single quarter, every single year. But most importantly, every single day, you should be striving to be better than you were yesterday. And only compare yourself with yourself. That's something I preach to you guys all the time, so I won't really get up on that soapbox. But only, concern yourself with beating your own personal records and your own personal goals. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Purging items. We're going to talk about purging items towards the end of this, so I'm glad you brought that up. Sunday fun day. Devil Dog Treasures, hi. Trina says I'm pretty much sucking on all fronts. I am sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can get you motivated tonight. So, first of all, the first thing most people think when they think of spring cleaning is that it's time to clean. It's time to organize. It's time to get rid of the clutter. It's time to get rid of the dust. It's time to get rid of everything in your life that isn't bringing you joy. I almost said sparking joy, but I don't. That's a Netflix show and I don't want to get sued. But anything in your life that isn't making you, anything in your life that is clutter, that isn't making you happy or bringing you some kind of joy needs to go. And in your business, in your death piles, if they are just sitting there and dragging you down, they need to go too. This is the time to just go through everything and just get rid of what should not be there. And that's not just with your business. just everything. Go through your own closets, you know, and if you haven't worn it in a year, if it doesn't fit you anymore, ladies, can we all attest that we have that one secret drawer of clothing? Oh, I'll lose weight and I'll fit back in that again. We all have that drawer of clothes that we're all hoping to fit back into eventually, and they just sit there. And because we're resellers, when you clean out your closets and you clean out your dressers and you clean out your drawers and all of that, you can sell that stuff. We don't just have to take it to the Goodwill. Like lay people, we can resell our items that we don't wear anymore. So get rid of your clutter. Let's talk about that. Work on timers. And I know I've brought her up before, but if you guys have never checked her out, check out the Fly Lady. FLYLADY. On your spare time or whatever, just check out the Fly Lady. She has a really, really good system for time management and just organizing your life and getting rid of clutter. And she really preaches about cleaning on timers for like 15 minutes a day, because her philosophy is if it didn't get messy in a day, it's not going to get clean in a day. And if you try to get it clean in a whole day, you're just going to stress yourself out and do too much. So work on timers. Go through your own stuff. I mean, there might be tons of stuff that you're holding on to that you could just sell. And then you need to go through your inventory. And this is where we're going to talk about death piles. So I have been talking a lot about death piles lately, because most of you know that I recently did a 5-month stint of not sourcing anything and only listing from our death piles and our I don't wanna piles. And it took 5 months. We're finally through them and we're back to sorting. We're back to sorting. We're back to sourcing, and we don't have any death piles, and I'm glad to say, and I'm happy to tell you guys that after this past weekend, we don't even have the I don't want us anymore. Those coats and that box of electronic plush, they're done. I mean, what could have been photographed and listed is photographed. Some of it's listed, some of it's waiting to be listed. They're photos in my phone. And anything that I just kept saying I don't wanna, it's in a box for the Goodwill. We'll take the tax right off. So you want to clear out your death piles. I'm going to lecture you guys a little bit on death piles tonight because of the whole spring cleaning mindset I want you guys in. I know I've said this to you before, and if you're new to the channel, you may not have heard it, and if you have heard it before, maybe you need to hear it again. What death piles amount to is basically like you took money from your business, capital, you took your profits, you took that money, you threw it over there on the floor, and you said, I don't care about it. And every day you look at all this money laying there, and you step over it, you step around it, you ignore it, you put it behind a door and shut that door, you put it upstairs in storage, and you just ignore it, and you go about your life. That's how I want you to look at it. I don't want you guys to look at it like it's a pile of clothing. I want you guys to look at it like it's a pile of money. So if you have a death pile, think of it like if you have 100 items in your death pile and you have a 99-cent cost of goods or $2 cost of goods, I want you to think of it as $100 or $200 you just threw on the floor and chose to ignore. Because would you do that with money? Probably not. A lot of stuff has sold from our death piles. Tons of stuff. Figgy flips. If you ever get a chance, you can watch my what sold on eBay videos. I put them out every single Monday, and I've been doing a lot of talking in those about items that I was really frustrated with myself for allowing to sit around and get buried because of how quickly they sold or how much they were worth. Here's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand about their death piles. Even if they're on a different floor, like I said, if you have a basement or an attic where you keep your stuff, even if they're in a different room behind a closed door, they are sucking your energy. Because I don't care where they're at in your house or how hidden you think you have them. You know they're there subconsciously. Your mind knows those death piles are there. So whenever you're working or you're listing, somewhere inside of you, you know you have all these other items. I don't know how big your personal death pile is. It could be 100 items. It could be 5,000. but you know it, and it's dragging you down. It's sucking your energy like a little energy vampire. Because in the back of your mind, when you're working, you know there's all that much more to go through. And when you're out sourcing, when you're out thrifting, when you're out looking for more items, that little subconscious voice is telling you, why are you out here buying more stuff when you have all these piles at home? It is a huge energy suck. Whether you realize it on a conscious level or not, those piles are causing you emotional damage and distress just for the fact that you know they're there. Now, let me say that there is a huge difference between a death pile that you absolutely are excited about, that you know you're going to get to, that you cannot wait to work through, that you're going to get listed in the next week or two, and the death pile that is this huge pile of stuff that you just don't want to deal with anymore. You feel overwhelmed. That's another word I wanted to make sure I threw in there. Overwhelmed. So it's not just sucking your energy. You're overwhelmed. But there's a huge difference. And then there's the third type of pile, which I can get behind because I live in a state that has very, very harsh cold winters, snow, ice, icy roads, and all of that. Some people purposely build up an extra bit of inventory to have a little bit of extra stuff lying around, so if there is inclement weather or whatever and you can't get out to source, you have that. Those are different than the pile that's sucking your energy and overwhelming you. I have a big pile of plush right there that are going to be in a haul video tomorrow, and then they're going to be photographed and listed, and I don't consider them a death pile because I just sourced them. They're getting ready to debut in their haul video, and then they'll get listed, and I'm excited about them. And then over here I have a small pile of jeans that's going to get done between tomorrow and Thursday. Those kinds of piles are okay, but when they get so big that they're just overwhelming, you don't know where to start, they become the I don't want-as. I did tell you I was going to lecture you on death piles for a minute. So what you have to decide for yourself, for your own sanity, your own emotional well-being, and the well-being of your business, is at some point you either have to suck it up, buttercup, and delve into that pile and get through it and get it photographed and get it listed. And if this means not sourcing and not allowing yourself to go out thrifting to yard sales, etc., then that's what has to be done. That's one of two ways you can go. Number one, suck it up, buttercup, and get through the death pile. Or number two, get rid of it. If it is seriously becoming so overwhelming that there's just so much that you know you're never going to get to it, and it's becoming an I don't wanna, you're better off lotting it up into big, you could do mystery boxes. We're going to talk about the wholesale store that we run with Casey in a second, but you're better off just, getting rid of it in one fell swoop, at least get your money back and a little bit of profit. And then you can take that money and you can spend it on items that make sense. Items that aren't going to sit for months and build up into piles and just sit there until they're overwhelming. A lot of times what these death piles are, they're not necessarily bad items. They're not necessarily things that were mistakes or things you shouldn't have sourced, as far as how profitable they are for reselling. What they are things that you shouldn't have sourced for you personally because you don't want to deal with them and you don't like them. And so that's why I say you're better off just getting rid of them. If you spend let's say if you have a big death pile. Let's say you spent $300 on everything in that death pile. It's just going to keep sitting there. If you could lot it all up into a couple of wholesale lots or whatever and get rid of it for $500, you've got your $300 back, you got an extra $200, you got rid of items you didn't want to deal with, and now you got $500 to turn around and thrift items that spark that joy in you, that give you a feeling of satisfaction, that fill you with excitement. $500 worth of things that will never just sit because you want to photograph them, you want to get them listed, and you want to flip them. So you have a couple choices. You can do mystery boxes on Poshmark. They do allow those there. You can fill up to 5 pounds. Their label, the shipping cost the buyer pays for on Poshmark is up to 5 pounds. So you can get one of these large mailing boxes that I always use for the plush, and fill it up till it's 5 pounds. Let it go on Poshmark, for 25 or 30 bucks. You can create lots on eBay. They cannot be mystery. On eBay, they have to be lots where you have like a actual inventory of everything in there to show what's in the lot and photographs of it. Or you could wholesale it, and that's where I'm going to give you guys a little brief talk about our wholesale that we do with Casey. So what we do is we connect sellers and buyers. They're all sellers. We connect sellers with other sellers so that they can get wholesale priced big lots of merchandise that they can flip. And it works really well because let's say you have whatever your death pile is, you don't like it, you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to list it. Well, through us, you can list it on our Shopify, and then say it's jeans. Someone like me comes along, it's a really good deal for 20 pairs of jeans, and I'm like, I love jeans, I'm gonna buy them. You hate jeans, I love jeans. I just got a really good deal on a whole bunch of jeans for a really good price. It's a whole big wholesale lot, comes right to my door, convenient for me. I make a profit when I list them individually one by one on eBay. You got rid of them because you don't like them. You got a lump sum for them. You made a little bit. I'm going to make a little bit. Everybody's happy. So that's how it works out. We're not looking for people's junk or crap or stuff that's poop that you need to be donating to Goodwill. We're looking for really good items that are good for resale that just maybe you don't like or you don't want to list or you're just tired of looking at. There are some people who have death piles full of stuff they love. For example, and this is not true, this is not real, this would never happen, but let's say I had 10,000 plush in this house and I just couldn't list them all. You guys know I love plush, but there would come a point when there were 10,000 I would have to say I'd have to lot some up and let them go, and someone else could have them. So if you feel like you're buried and you have way too much inventory that you are never going to be able to get through, if your death piles are overwhelming you, if they're draining your energy and just making you unhappy, if they have become I don't wanna piles and you just want to lot them up and get rid of them quickly, we can do that for you. We are looking for lots all the time. So how can you sell your lots through us? You can send us an email at liquidationlots4less@gmail.com, and it's the number 4. So it's liquidationlots, the number 4, less@gmail.com, and then myself, Keith, or Casey will get back to you and let you know what information we need from you as far as your information, and then photographs and shipping and weight and all that good stuff. And then we just put it up and we sell it. So that would be an option. You could always donate it if you don't think it's worth selling in wholesale. I mean, I had to redonate a lot of stuff when I went back through my I don't wannas and my death piles. So, but if you want to try to make your money back, oh my gosh, that train is so loud. Y'all hear it? Whoop! That would be one way to do it. So now we're going to talk about your routines and your schedules, but first I'm going to check in with the chat. Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie. But a recent haul isn't really a death pile. When your couch is covered in the last 30 hauls from the last couple of months, then it's a death pile. So, but your recent stuff that you're getting ready to list, I don't really consider that, because we all have to have inventory. I mean, Keith only lists remotes right now, so we're not going to count him in this. But I list about 15, 20 items a day. So even on the low end, Monday through Friday, I'm going to need, and that's not counting the weekends, because I do list on the weekends as well. And sometimes I list a little bit less, and sometimes more, depending on what other projects or family time stuff we have going on. But let's just say Monday to Friday, low end, I list 15 a day. So that's 75. I need 75 items every week just to keep me going, but it's more like 100, 120 if you count the weekends. So in our eBay room, I could have 120 items come Monday morning, but I know that's what I'm working on this week, and it's okay. It's not a death pile. when it becomes 500, 600 items, when it starts moving upstairs to our storage, and then it takes me 5 months to go through it. Then it's a problem. Rhonda says, I feel overwhelmed. Yeah, it does get overwhelming. So, okay, so let's talk about your routine. So now we talked a little bit about spring cleaning. And if you want to spring clean your house and learn how to get rid of clutter outside of your business, again, check out Fly Lady. She's great. You can get rid of your dust piles. We talked about that. I'm going with my notes. I can't even read my own notes. Just bear with me. That looked like a piece of white paper. There's really notes on here. Okay. We want to talk about routines and schedules. So I spent like the entire time leading up to Q4 and all through Q4 talking to you guys about routines and schedules. So now I just want to check back in with you. And I know I have a lot of new subscribers and people that are new to the channel. So let's just talk about that real quick, tiny bit. So when you work from home, it is super important that you have schedules and that you have routines that you're following every day. It takes about 30 days to build a new habit. So if you want to create really great routines for yourself that are going to keep you working and on task every day, for the first 30 days, you're going to have to force yourself through it. And that is why I tell everyone you should have a bullet journal of some sort. You should have a bullet journal or a notebook that you put your to-do list in, or keep something on your phone. But for the first 30 days, you're going to have to write down specifically what tasks you want to get done every day, and what order, and how you want to work. And then, excuse me. Oh, Courtney's here. Hi, Courtney. I didn't see you sneak in. Hi. After 30 days, then it becomes a habit. So the routine that I do every single day, and if you're curious, you can look it up later if you have any extra time, which none of us have. There's a video on this channel where I shared my daily routine with everyone. And that was just a matter of me just continually writing a to-do list and writing down routines over and over and doing the same thing. And now I can get up in the morning and start working all the way through dinner without ever looking at that day's to-do list or that day's routine. And then after dinner, when I go back and check it, I can just start checking stuff off because I've done it, because it's my routine and I do it all the time. And that's why I think it's so important, because especially if this is your full-time job and you're working from home, there's a lot of distractions when you work from home. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get off task. So you have to keep yourself. You have to be your own boss. And we talked a lot about that in last week's live show, about working from home and being your own boss and making sure that you're giving yourself things to do every day the same way a boss would at a regular job. And that's why you need to take stock of your routines and your schedules now and get some really good ones in place, so that when you get into the second quarter, you're all set. You're good to go. We got about a month for Q2, so if you want to start new habits or new routines, you got about 30 days to get them set, and then they become autopilot. If I didn't mention taxes, let me talk about them real quick. April 15th is the deadline, so if you haven't filed yet, now's the time to start thinking about it. And if you are super behind on your bookkeeping, don't try to do it all in one day. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just like with cleaning or decluttering or any of that stuff, set aside 10, 15, 20 minutes a day on a timer and work on your books until they're all caught up, and then you can go in and file your taxes. If you're all caught up and where you need to be, you've probably already filed. We use GoDaddy bookkeeping. I know a lot of people always like to ask what we use, and a lot of people like QuickBooks. It's just your own preference. And I don't give out tax advice because I'm A, really bad at math, and B, I'm not comfortable giving out advice on something that I'm not an expert at or really great at. I do always tell people I do recommend getting a CPA or having someone at least do your taxes for you the first year or two that you're in business for yourself, and ask a lot of questions, watch what they do, pay very close attention, and then you may be able to branch off and do them for yourself eventually. Pete says, I set up routines, schedules, and goals for first quarter, but about a weekend I realized how much clutter and bad listings and dark photos still, so I ended up revising 95% of old stuff. That's fine too. You can work that in around it, or maybe you start Q2. Q2 and Q1 always sound so funky coming out of my mouth. Q4 sounds great. It's Q4. But getting yourself into a mindset of everything that I needed to get done is done and now I can move forward and have better routines is also a good thing. Kind of like us going through all of our death piles and not sourcing for 5 months. I've got everything squared away. Everything is organized. Everything is clean. Everything is cleared out. We have a couple of boxes and bags out in our foyer that need to go back to Goodwill. And we're not even overwhelming ourselves with that. It's not like we're loading up a huge load to take. We just grab a box or a bag or two every time we go out and dump them in, the Goodwill on our way or on the day we go sourcing. But if you feel like you've got a lot of crap you need to take care of or clear out, poop, not crap, poop. Do that first because it really will help your mindset. Hey, look, Robert snuck in. Robert's in the house, guys. That's Zombie Bargain Hunter there with the blue wrench. He is one of the mods. Say hi to him. He's also a plush expert. He's the other plush royalty. All right, so your mindset. Now, we're going to talk about your mindset. Hi, Pamela. As far as sourcing. So, we have 2 weeks until spring, like I said. So, as we get into spring and closer to summer, you are going to want to change your mindset as far as sourcing goes just a tiny bit. As far as what you're sourcing and where you're sourcing, depending on what area of the country you live in. So let's talk about that first. As we get into spring and summer, if you live in a place that didn't have yard sales in the winter, they're going to start happening. So you want to make sure that you start to include. You want to start to include yard sales, church sales, estate sales, all those good things. You want to start including them in your weekly routine of sourcing. If you live somewhere nice like Florida, you've probably been yard selling nonstop since the fall, and you're like, what are you talking about? But, if you live somewhere like we live, it's going to start happening in the spring moving forward. Make sure you have on your phone the Yard Sale Treasure Map app. Yard Sale Treasure Map app. It's for Apple or Android. It's good for everyone. And it's just an app. Pops up on your phone and shows you. There. I saw it kind of. Gotta kind of hold. There we go. It shows you red dots where sales are near you. And it curates these sales from places like the newspaper, Craigslist, and other periodicals. And it takes all of those and puts them into a nice little map for you. And each red dot is a sale. It includes estate sales, church sales, yard sales, community sales, flea markets, pop-up flea markets and stuff like that. Anywhere that would put out an ad in one of those periodicals it curates from goes on this map for you. So make sure that if you're in a place that it is now feasible to be having a lot of yard sales, get it and use it. If you're not, if you live in a place like where we live, where it's still cold, as it gets into the warmer weather, just make sure that you're checking that every Friday evening and just see what's going on in your town in the weekend and see what sales you can hit. That's a free app. There is a paid version that's got all kinds of fancy stuff. The paid version, you can color code your dots. So you can get like blue dots for church sales and green dots for estate sales. And I'm just making up colors off the top of my head because we use the free one. So all of our dots are red and we actually have to touch them. When you touch your dot, it gives you information about the sale. So just keep in mind that you're going to have more places and more opportunities to source with the warm weather coming. Robert's going to Vegas next week to get more plush. Now, what you're sourcing needs to start changing as well. You guys know that I'm a big supporter of list all the things all the time, and that still is true. If it is the middle of the summer and it is 1,000 degrees and I walk past a 100% leather jacket for $2, I'm going to get it and I'm going to list it and I'm going to sell it. And I did this last summer, but as an example, if it's June and somebody has a giant box full of Christmas mugs, Christmas ornaments, etc. for $2 at a yard sale, I'm going to buy the box because the whole box is going to cost me $2. And there's tons of stuff in there, and I'm going to list it. People do Christmas in July. People buy stuff all year round. If it's the middle of the winter and I see a brand new with tags Victoria's Secret swimsuit at the thrift for 99 cents, it's coming home with me and it's getting listed. If I get booty shorts in my thread-up boxes in the middle of winter, they get listed. So those are just some examples. But whenever you see something that has a great cost of good and is going to be a good flip for you, grab it. Don't worry about being seasonal. And don't set it aside either. I know some people like to hold stuff. Don't hold stuff back, really. I don't suggest that because I have sold Easter plush in the middle of the summer. I've sold Christmas plush in February. I've sold Valentine's Day plush in November. I have sold swimsuits in the middle of winter, coats in the middle of the summer. So yes, I'm still a huge proponent of the list all the things all the time. Absolutely. And never pass up a good opportunity for yourself. That's going to be a good flip. But don't set, like if you find a box of Christmas in the middle of summer, there's no reason to store it aside and wait for Christmas. I would definitely put it on the bottom of the priorities, though. Like if you're sitting in your eBay room and you're like, what am I going to list today? And you have that box of Christmas, but you have a pile of shorts and jeans or plush or something, do those first, but list all the things all the time. Robert says I sold a Christmas Peep and Christmas Tigger today. Yeah, I'm still selling Christmas plush too, so that's a very good example. But I also that's a bad word. I teach, encourage. There we go. So I do say all the things all the time, but I also encourage folks to kind of focus more on sourcing for the season. Don't pass up on great items when you find them. But like in the winter, I really don't spend a lot of money and or time in the booty short aisle. In the summer, I will. I'm a little more cherry picky about jeans in the spring and summer. In the fall and the winter, I'm all about bread and butter jeans all day long. Huge piles of them. I'll source 100 pairs of bread and butter and bring them home because they're 99 cents. In the summer, when I'm going through the jeans, I'm a little more cherry picky. I'll bring home less bread and butter and I'll source more of the bolo or the better bread and butter ones. But I still source jeans and sell jeans all summer long. Jeans do not slow down for me. I remember having this conversation with someone at the very beginning of last summer because they were warning everyone in the group that jeans weren't going to sell and not to source them. And I'm like, whoa, that's bad advice. And Megan Mawini can attest to this too. Her and I sell the same amount of jeans in the summer that we do the winter. So maybe a little less. Like just a scotch less than we would in the winter. But they still sell. Just be more picky. So what are some things that you can start looking for, though, if you want to start stocking up on inventory that is more geared towards spring and summer? Of course, booty shorts. You guys know I love booty shorts. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 2 weeks from today, I will have a free little mini bolo guide for you guys on booty shorts. I'll probably throw a couple of men's in there too, because that's something else you should be looking for. So the women's booty shorts, specifically denim or jean shorts that are cut off, ripped, destroyed, distressed, they're just great. They do really well. Kelly, hi Kelly. Hip Flippin' Mama's in the house, guys. Welcome in. And then men's short, or I should also say women's, you can look for linen. Linen shorts do really well too. Then men's shorts, you want to look for those. I don't know why they do so well, but they really do. Those plaid like golf shorts, and all brands. I buy them all up in all brands. Dresses for weddings, yes, that's a good one. Sunglasses, flip-flops and sandals, a few flip shoes. This is the time to start looking for the flip-flops and the sandals, and I guess those are, I was going to say, like the strappy heels. So they're not like sandals or flip-flops, but they're dress shoes, but they're more strappy, like more airflow for the hot weather, I guess. You can start looking in the swimsuits. A lot of thrift stores have super duper cheap swimsuits, and if they're good brands or new at tags, they're a good idea to bring home. Here's the rule, and I always get asked this every year when I bring up swimsuits, so let's just talk about it right now. So the rule about used swimsuits on Poshmark, not Poshmark. The rule about used swimsuits on eBay is this. You cannot sell a used swimsuit bottom by itself. If it's a two-piece bikini or a tankini in a bottom and you have both pieces, you can sell them. If you have just the tankini or just the bikini top used, you can sell it. But in order for you to sell the bottoms, you have to have both pieces. Now, those are the actual rules. As far as I'm concerned, used bikini bottoms are gross. So I try to not even try. I don't mess with them. But you can sell them, but you have to have both pieces. I look for the tankinis. We do really well with those. We do really well with just the bikini tops. And then if I find new with tags, bikini 2 pieces or like 1 piece, I'll grab those. So you can look for swimsuits, sunglasses, dresses, heels, sandals, flip-flops, shorts, beach towels, like if they have popular characters on them. People are looking for beach bags and tote bags, and they're looking for luggage. So if you have access to a thrift store, or you just happen upon it at an estate sale or yard sale where you can see really, really super good luggage for really cheap that you can flip. That could be like a local sale, because I don't know what I want to mess with shipping on that. But people are looking for all types of bags because they're going to the beach, they're going to the pool. Hats are a good thing to look for in the summer. In some places, people really like their hats. I know I'm missing some stuff because I do this every year, and I usually make a list, and I did not make a list of all of the springy summer stuff. But that's just like a start. That's a really good idea of some things you can be looking for. Plush is good all year. Jeans are good all year. You want to make sure you're focusing a lot more on short sleeves if you like to do tops, men's or women's bosses. Men's shirts or women's bosses. You can focus a lot more on short sleeves and tank tops. And the dresses, you can be looking for summer dresses like the sundresses and the strapless and the cute little flowy things women wear in the summer. So just keep your mindset on that. Like, still look for everything all the time. Don't pass up good deals. But kind of focus on, like, filling up your store with seasonal items while also finding other stuff. Does that make sense? Vintage coolers, that's a very good one. Thank you, Sew and Thrift. Very, very good one. People are looking for those kinds of things too. Just think about yourself and what you do in the summer and other people and what we would be looking for. So I think I'm done. I've got about 15 minutes left. I have one more announcement for you guys before we take off. But we got about 15 minutes to the hour, so I'm more than willing to sit here with you guys for another 15 minutes if you have questions for me. So we'll open up the chat to you guys, free for all. Ask me anything. Doesn't have to be about the topic from tonight. It can be about anything at all, and I'll answer you. So go ahead and start putting those in over there, and I'll answer as many as I can before we go. And I have like a couple more announcements. I just want to make sure I got through everything I wanted to say to you guys. because my handwriting is bad sometimes. When I'm trying, it's nice, but when I'm trying to write really fast, it's terrible. And then I think I'm going to write like in shorthand, and this will make sense to me later, and then it doesn't. Okay, so we got about 1 month to prepare for second quarter. So start thinking about all these other things that you want to get in your store for the spring and the summer, and start looking for them and getting them in there. Load it up. I would rather go into spring having tons of spring and summer stuff already in my store for people to look through and shop for, than be trying to build it up while people are already looking for it. Does that make sense? Kind of like how you see brick and mortar stores, they'll put Valentine's Day stuff out in January, or you'll see Christmas stuff out in October. They're trying to get it in there and stocked up before people are even thinking about it, so that they're ready for it when people are. They already have it. Plus it reminds people, oh hey, yeah, it's almost Christmas, let me go look at this, and they might buy stuff they normally never would have. So it's a good idea to start loading that up now. Also, one more reminder, the coupon, if you have a store subscription with eBay, you do have a discounted coupon you can use on eBay branded supplies that you get every quarter. Make sure you use that sometime this month, because it's use it or lose it. If you don't use it, it doesn't roll over. You just lose it. So make sure you use it and get your free stuff. Robert wants to know if people ask me to model the swimsuits, should I do it? I think you should. No. I think you should. Everything on my phone is blowing up. I'm going to try to mute some of these announcements just because it's distracting. Mute. Okay. So the announcements. So I want you guys to have a really successful 2020. That's why I do these live shows every week. It's why I talk to you guys about the same stuff over and over, and I remind you to do this and do that, and I try to help you guys. I want everyone to be successful in 2020. I want each quarter this year going forward consecutively to be better than the last, and I want at the end of this year everyone to say this was the best year ever. And one of the things that you guys can do for yourselves is have a closet review done. It just helps to have an extra pair of eyes look at your stuff. Me and Keith still have Casey look at our store. And I know I've told you guys that before. But a couple times a year, Casey will look at our store with his eyes, his opinions, his thoughts, his deal, and tell us what he thinks we could do to improve. And then we do the same for him. So we kind of like exchange reviews for each other. At the end of the day, there's always something you can improve, but we're often blind to our own faults. It's kind of like how you can miss a typo that you make, and I do it all the time. I have people message me on Poshmark all the time. Did you realize you mistyped this word or you misspelled this word? And I'm like, thank you. No, I didn't. But you know how you know what you wanted to type and you're tired and you've seen the word a million times and you don't even catch your own typo. It's kind of like the same thing with your store. It's always good to have another person look at it and just kind of give you some ideas on what you can do to improve things, to increase the eyeballs in your store. Not only that, but to increase your sales. And even we have someone else look at our store for us a couple times a year to give us some kind of input on what we could do differently. Maybe we could try something new, and then also to catch those mistakes that we all make and miss. So it's already dropped, so I'll have to get you guys a link. I think it's down there. But I dropped the price of the store reviews back down to $9.99, and that will be good through the end of March. So until the 31st. If you guys want an extra pair of eyeballs, you want a store review or closet review. I didn't drop those prices yet though. I'll drop those too. So if you want a closet review or a store review, I'll drop them both down to $9.99. And they'll be good through the end of March at that price. And that includes, I go through and I check everything for you guys. There's some people that have already had reviews. I don't know if they're watching right now. They can tell you in the comments what they thought. but I'll check your titles, your photos, your descriptions, your prices, your best practices. And when I complete the review, I actually type all of these things out that I check into a Word document and tell you where I feel, not only where I feel you can improve, I tell you where you're doing well too. Because whatever you're doing well, you should continue to do, clearly, because that's making you successful. But I find everything that you're doing well, everywhere that you can improve, and I type it up in a Word document and send it to you in an email. That way it's not just me telling you. You have an actual written document, visual, that you can go back to time and again if you need help or a reminder or an example. Like if I tell you that you can work on your titles, I will typically take 2 things out of your store and type your titles for you and put them in the Word document. And then you can go back to that for your own reference. So everything I go through and look at and everything gets typed out and sent to you so that you can use it. And again, if I have an example of something, I'll type it out for you. So that's what it gets you. It gets you a pretty extensive overview on your store. So if you want one of those, we're going to do those for $9.99 through the end of March. And that's for everybody, whether you're in the Facebook group or not. I just dropped the price on the link. So you use the link, you get it for that price. Just make sure that you then check your email for an email from Sendow. Because once you purchase the review, you're going to get a document that you got to download from Sendow. And it tells you what I need from you to do the review. Clearly, I need your store link. But there's like some other information. And I ask you a couple of questions also so that I can personalize the review. So it's not just like a blanket review. Your document that you get when you purchase the review will tell you what I need, but there's some questions I ask you and some information I want from you so that I can personalize your review for you. Let me check the questions real quick. Rhonda says, I sell on Poshmark. I would like to cross-post to eBay. I would just start with your highest priced items, I guess. And the only way to get your listings up on eBay is just to keep listing and selling. You can call and ask them to have them up. Gosh, it's been so many years ago since we did that. But yeah, just list, sell, call, and ask. And they'll do it periodically. But going backwards from Posh to eBay, because we started on eBay, I would say like you're the best brands, the highest priced items. So in thrift, they no longer have the collar fill tape. I did like the collar fill tape. I had some pink tape that you could only get at eBay open. It was this really cool pink color, and I had like 3 rolls that I got at eBay open, and they're all gone. List perfectly works great. Star will have a link. Yeah, so there is a link down below that, like Robert said, it'll come up after the show. The List Perfectly link is at the very bottom. I've had a couple of people message me about it. So if you go to our description box on any of our videos, scroll all the way down to the bottom. I think it's like the last thing above our post office box. But it is there. And the store reviews are there somewhere at the top. I have never personally sold a Charlie Bear, so I can't speak on if they sell okay, but as far as plush in general, all plush sells okay as far as I'm concerned, unless it's super duper crap, poop, or generic, or really damaged. Just check the comps on them. Do I sell clothes with no tags? Like, do you mean new without tags? Because we do a lot of gently used clothing. Doesn't have tags. I don't generally try to sell something new without tags unless I specifically know it's new. And there we go. Robert says Charlie Bells sell. Charlie Bells and Charlie Bears, they all sell great. Fern says, I've been watching you for a long time. Thank you so much. And list your first 3 plush today. Woo! What is considered full-time or part-time doing eBay? I think that's going to be different for each person. I mean, like, generally speaking, if you're working 40 hours or more a week, you can see how much I work. 40 hours or more is full-time. Part-time would be anything less than that. But again, it's going to be specific to each person. Like, are you judging it on hours or how much you make? If you're judging it on hours, I guess that's the hours. But if you're judging on what you make, if like this is all you do and this is how you eat and this is how you pay your bills and this is how you live your life, then it's your full-time job. This is my full-time job. This is all I do. I don't necessarily always work full-time. Sometimes I work part-time, but this is my only job. And so it's my job. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So and Thrift says, I will use List Perfectly. Yep. List Perfectly is the bomb biggity. Yo. Alright, so if you want a store guide, they're going to be $9.99 through the end of March. And we're going to drop the prices on our guides for you guys again. So if you haven't yet bought our 2020 clothing guide or the Plush guide, and you did want them, especially going into Q2, if you want to pick up these guides so that you can source a little bit I don't want to say a little bit smarter, because it's not like if you don't have the guide you're not sourcing smart. But if you want a guide to help you distinguish what to source, that you can carry with you, because we give you a PDF version of them that you can put on your phone to carry with you when you're sourcing. We're going to drop the prices on those. So the Plush guide obviously is a Plush guide. It's got a really cool little booklet that comes with it that has FAQs, myth busts about the plush. It's got bolos, it's got no-los, it's got bread and butter plush, all broken down. The average sale price, the average sell-through rate. It's color-coded so you can see if they sell fast, slow, or medium. And then the 2020 clothing guide is like 150 brands of clothing, all broken down kind of the same way. It doesn't come with a cool little booklet, but it's just like a spreadsheet with the brands but used and brand new, target buy price, average sale price, average sell-through rate, and then it's color-coded. So that's just a spreadsheet you get for the clothing one. You get a PDF and a spreadsheet version. The Plush guide has that plus a little book with all of like this extra information about plush, because I'm really passionate about plush, obviously. It's like my favorite thing. So I did write a little book to go with it because I wanted to share some stuff with you guys about like the FAQs, and I wanted to bust some myths. So we're going to drop the prices on those, but in order to do that, we're going to have to do coupon codes or codes that you will put in. So those are going to be available in our Facebook group. We're going to be offering a lot of different deals, 25% off if you buy a guide, one or the other, and then 30% off if you want to buy both, and then 40% off if you want to buy both guides and get a store review. So there's going to be a lot of different options for you with different discounts depending on what you're looking for. So what I will do tonight after this live show is I will go into the Facebook group and I will make a post and put it into the announcement section with all of the links that you'll need and the coupon codes that you'll need if you would like to take advantage of any of these sales. And if you're not in the Facebook group, now's the time to join, because that's going to be the way to get the links and the coupon codes. Plus, it's a really great group. Everyone in there is super awesome. There's a link down below for that as well. It is the Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. And if you're already in the group, make sure that you are periodically checking those announcements, whether you're on your phone or the computer. At the top, when you go into the group, there's always a pinned post at the top, which will be my latest video. And then just above that, it says See All, and it'll have a different number depending on how many announcements I have out at the time. Click that periodically and look through there. That's where we do these coupon codes. That's where we do the giveaways. That's where we do the daily posts of participation where people can share their stores, their closets. We do follow parties on Instagram. We do I was going to say Pinstagram, but we do Pinterest parties. We do all kinds of really cool stuff. So make sure you're checking the announcements. Make sure you're in the group if you're not already. That way you can get these deals. And if you are in a group and you're looking forward to getting these deals, give me about an hour after the live show ends to get them in there for you guys, because I got to go create codes and stuff. I can do a store review for an Australian store. I don't really know like your postage or your shipping or anything like that, but I can help you see your keywords and your pictures and your items and your pricing and stuff, I guess. Robert made $600 in 3 days using List Perfectly. Yes. We just had our first Grailed sale. Hey, Cheryl in Midwest, we're wrapping it up, but you guys can always catch the replay once it loads. But yeah, we have started branching out to a lot of different platforms because we have List Perfectly now. And I can move 5 pieces of plush to Macari and 5 shirts to Grailed in under 5 minutes. And that's moving to both. Like, that whole thing takes me less than 5 minutes a day. So it's pretty cool. I love List Perfectly. I have videos on that too, if you want to search the channel. So just to summarize before I let you guys go, make sure that you're taking the time this month in the next 30 days to go through and get rid of your death piles. If you want to wholesale them, you can always get a hold of me in the group. If you can't remember, liquidation lots for less at gmail.com. Just hit me up, say I'm interested, and I'll hook you up. But take the time to organize your eBay room. Spend 15 minutes a day going through all the clutter and the death piles. Get rid of them. Do some spring cleaning on your house and on yourself, and you'll feel better. You'll feel like you're going into the second quarter and into spring with everything organized. I always feel better when things are organized and clean. So take the time to do that for yourself. And make sure your routines are in place, your to-do lists, and your schedules. Keep on yourself. Be the worst boss that you've ever had, and make yourself work every single day. My throat is getting really dry. I start to get vocal fry really bad at the end of these. Sorry, guys. And just make sure that you are continuing to work towards bigger and better goals all the time. So do better this week than you did last week. Do better next week than you did now. Every single day, every single month, every single quarter. Just keep striving to be bigger and better than before. Just keep competing with yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. But just keep competing with yourself and beating your own personal bests and growing. And then as far as sourcing, just change your mindset a little bit. Kind of branch out where you're sourcing when the weather is allowing that. And what you're sourcing. I can't even talk for 2 seconds without a drink. That's so funny, little bunny foo-foo. I almost choked on my water. Alright guys, make sure you're in the Facebook group. We have so much fun in there. Again, it's Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. I'm going to put a ton of information in there to give you guys a whole bunch of discounts. In 2 weeks, when we drop the jeans guide, I'm going to give away free ones. It's all going to be in the group. Plus, we have daily participation threads. We have fun. There's a lot of really nice people in there. I can't tout my group enough because the people in it are so amazing. I like to say it's a wonderful little corner of the internet. If you guys think of a question later that you didn't get to ask during the show, you can leave a comment on the replay of the video. I'll get back to you. You can tag me in the Facebook group, which is probably the best, fastest, and quickest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And we have an email, flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. You can always email me, guys. I do answer those first in, first out. I check them once or twice a day, and I get back to everybody in due time. So just be patient if you don't hear from me right away. But I do check that. So flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. Tag me in the Facebook group. Again, that's probably the best way because I check in there all the time. You can leave comments here. I do respond to all the comments. And then you can always find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos. And make sure you hit the thumbs up before you guys leave. It really helps the channel a lot. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel. Help us feed a hungry hippo. My throat is dry. Very dry. Thank you so much for watching tonight, guys. I really appreciate you spending this time with me and listening to me talk to you for an hour. So thank you so much. Go be productive. Go make some money. And until next time, just remember that you guys are the absolute best and you can do anything you put your mind to. Bye.